maybe inexperienced with this kind of thing. Like with the rental assistance, they also just extended the deadline. But then with the mortgage relief, we're finding out that there's a very small percentage of relief being approved. So yeah, it's a struggle, man, to get this aid out to our people. I feel like there needs to be, and maybe there is, they're just not communicating it well.
Joe's still on the phone?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
But I mean, it's tough. I feel you, Joe. We'll get Daphne on again next week. But I mean, they're working on it. That's the best we can say. They paid out all the EIP too, right? As of
Yeah, the deadline was the 19th to pay out everything for EIP2.
All right, 9:07. Major Antone Aguon. Good morning, Major.
Good morning. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning. Thanks for coming on the show. I wanted to, because people have been talking in our Facebook live stream, and it was also kind of mentioned in one of the JIC reports about the prisoner population being eligible or being prioritized for vaccination. Have those efforts began?
Yes, the discussion is ongoing. The director is communicating with public health on when we'll be able to get this done. We're looking maybe a few more weeks from now. I mean, right now public health's focus is on the community, and so we're hoping probably by April, sometime towards the end of April, maybe we can start getting the inmates, offering the vaccine to the inmate population.
Have you done a survey yet of the inmate population in terms of who will want to get the vaccine and who doesn't want to?
No, probably going to be doing that in a few weeks. We do have some rough numbers, but we need to do the more educating, I guess, on some of them. Having our medical staff go around and explain. You gotta explain to them what's going on and the pros and cons of the vaccine. They're gonna have some questions, but I think in general most of them would want to take the vaccine. But we haven't done a survey yet, but we will be working on that in the next few weeks.
What were the rough numbers?
Well, right now we have about 500 some prisoners, just under 600. When we asked a while back, probably about half of them were willing to take the vaccine. The other half were kind of on the fence about it. But I think, that can be resolved just by giving them a little bit more education and talking about what the vaccine can do. I mean, the inmates don't have access to the media as much as the general public, other than reading the newspapers and stuff. So they still need to be educated a little bit about the vaccine.
In the discussions with public health, did they say that the vaccine that will be administered at the Department of Corrections to the prisoner population would likely be the Johnson & Johnson vaccine?
That was discussed. Again, some benefits on that is that you just need one vaccine you have to issue. So logistically, that would probably be one of the better ones for us. So we can come in here and do it at one time and get it over with. But, again, it's still up for discussion, and they might change depending on how many available and what's the resource at the time they're able to come and give the vaccine. So we'll know more as the weeks go on. We'll get closer and closer to implementing the vaccine.
Have you heard from the inmates? I mean, about the desire to take the vaccine?
Yeah, there's a few. Like I said, last time we checked, maybe 50-50. But we're going to do more education, and hopefully we can change. Yeah, no problem. And we can hopefully educate them. And some, of course, will change their mind. Others may not. And, we'll just have to work it from there.
Thanks.
And this is just the prisoner population, right? There's no plans, or are there plans for the detainees, the pretrial detainees?
Oh no, that includes, ma'am. I'm sorry, that includes our entire population. We're going to offer it to anybody that's in our facility at the time it's going around. It'll probably take about 2 days, like 1 day in Agani and a day or maybe 2 in Manila, depending on, because we have to move these inmates around to maintain security. So, it'll be offered to anyone in our custody at the time it is offered.
Including arrestees?
If they're there and they're willing to take the vaccine, and they have no other issues that's preventing them. For example, they weren't COVID within a certain period of time, or didn't have the flu shot within a certain period of time. we'll offer it to them, and if they're willing to take it, we'll give it to them.
Yeah, don't go out and get arrested, guys, just because you want to get the vaccine now. Okay.
What about whatever happened to the plans for DOC to implement rapid testing? Are you guys still going the GPD route?
Yeah, most of the tests, ma'am, come in through GPD. That's where our arrestees are mostly coming in. And then we have tested a few. For example, they'll come in, they'll refuse the test at the GPD end. So we treat them as positives, of course, and we offer the test a few days later, and a few of them have taken it. So we have several of our staff, both here in Manila and again, that are trained to administer the rapid testing. And for example, the female unit, I think one officer did like 3 or 4 in one day, because we had some people that were coming in off the street to self-surrender to serve their actual sentence. And so they didn't go through GPD or the court, they just came straight in. So we test them ourselves. They were negative, but we have the capability of doing that ourselves.
Okay, that's good to hear then.
Yeah. Major, what about visitation and incoming? What's the update on that?
So we have incoming going on this week. It's ongoing right now. Visitation, again, we're kind of looking for the end of April to start some semblance of visitation. It may not be as robust as it was prior to COVID, but we may be limiting like 2 visitors per family, and how many at a time may be limited. But we are working on that and closer.
Contraband?
Well, we did a shakedown at Post 5 last week. There was some contraband found, tobacco products, cigarettes, things like that. And so, of course, that unit right now is on restriction. They're not even allowed incoming this week. It was canceled for them. No incoming for Post 5 due to the results of a shakedown. And again, it's a continuing thing here at DOC, shakedowns and searching and things like that.
Right. Any officers?
Drugs?
Yeah, drugs, and any officer involvement in any of the contraband instances?
Not yet, no.
No. Did you say not yet?
Yeah, he said not yet. Yeah.
Is there
A little snarky, huh, Major?
Well, I don't want to. I pray that there's no officer involved. That experience has told me that's not always the case. But no, I don't have anything on any officers at this time.
I hope the Lord is answering your other prayers. But I was following closely because we sent a FOIA to the Civil Service Commission. This case of the former officer Christopher Santos, who was terminated along with the other officer. I think they were coming in at the same time.
the
And
lotion?
okay, now this a former officer Gumatao had put or was caught trying to smuggle in a bottle of lotion, and I guess they had cut it open. And can you give us more details on that, Major? How did they stuff the crystal meth into the bottle of lotion?
Again, it's one of those big Jergens, lotions, and the ice. You can put it in straws and what have you, and then stick it into the lotion. I mean, it's pretty simple, I guess, to do that. The opening on the lotion is pretty big, so just putting straws and stuff in there, and that's usually what they do.
Right.
Small stuff, hard to detect, or even just little Ziploc packets that are tightly sealed.
Right.
I mean, it's really easy to hide. I mean, you have to really be looking to find it.
Right, but I mean, as lotion, I'm just thinking, is lotion on the approved list? Or was the guy like, oh, this is my personal lotion?
But the thing was, the officer shouldn't have been bringing it in to begin with. I mean, when things come in through regular incoming, it is inspected.
Right.
And he shouldn't have been bringing it in for the inmates to begin with. And so that was his first mistake.
So he said that he was bringing in the lotion for the inmates. What, are they like lotioning their feet in there, or is it?
They had heat, smooth skin. I mean, I guess it's hot up there and dry skin, so they want dry skin.
Yeah, you don't want to be ashy. You know what I mean?
I
Terrible.
don't want to be asked.
I mean, what else are they using the lotion for? Don't answer that. But anyway, so let me just get back to the story. So these 2 guards were coming in, COs were coming in together. One of them got nabbed for the lotion in the meth. And then the other one got nabbed for bringing in like, man, was it how many cans of chewing tobacco? It was like 5 or 6 cans or something, right?
Yeah, several cans.
Right, and then he had said, "Oh, it's my personal stash of chewing tobacco." Anyway, so he's appealing his termination, right, and that's kind of going through the Civil Service Commission. Just your thoughts on that, Major?
I mean, that's it, right? It's the process. Due process is part of that. Again, tobacco is not allowed. It's contraband. Officers are not. This is a tobacco-free facility. So officers are well aware. If you get caught with that, you can actually be criminally charged. And we did what we did on our part, and it is his right to appeal, and it'll go through that process, and he'll be adjudicated. It'll go through the process, and he may win, he may not. We just don't know, but that's his right. So every employee is entitled to that due process.
So just to be clear, the officer said that it was his personal chewing tobacco that he was bringing into the prison facility, but there's no tobacco at all allowed inside the prison facility.
No. So it doesn't matter if it's personal or you're just not allowed. So.
Right on. So yeah. Major, other updates? I know that you had a couple of things you wanted to update us on, right?
Well, okay, so we're starting our RSAP program next week, Monday. The Residential Substance Abuse Treatment Program. We have 14 males and 2 females that will be going through this program. The last cycle we had, it kind of graduated shortly, a couple months after the pandemic started, and then we had to stop everything. So we're slowly, getting back up to normalcy here. So we're starting RSAP Monday. Overtime, we are up to date on our overtime. We have paid out our overtime, and we are now up to date with the officers' overtime. What else? We're going to be hiring. We've lost, of course, we've hired 60 people. We've lost over 30 due to resignation, transfers, off-island relocations. And so the director's got approval to start working on recruiting more officers. So that's going to be a process that's ongoing. There's currently a job announcement that's continuous at the Department of Administration for Correction Officer 1s. And so we're going to try to, in the next few months, try to recruit a few more officers. We have some that are retiring. We have about 5 to 6 officers retiring before this year's up. But other than that, we're moving forward, and we're doing good.
What about work release and also some of the other things where we see the inmates out, like bush cutting? Has all that been reinstated?
No, none of that, sir, is reinstated at this time. Once we probably look after the vaccine, once maybe the vaccines and we got inmates that are protected, then we may revisit those programs again. But as of now, there is nobody going to GCC or anybody going out for any community bush cutting or anything at this time.
Okay.
Okay, I had a couple questions. Do you have any update on the agreement that was being worked on with the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center? I know that we'd had discussions with the deputy director about that agreement.
So we do have we are working on an MOU with Guam Behavioral. It was reviewed by DOC management. It was sent back to Guam Behavioral for a minor changes. I can't recall the different things, but we're still in the process of hammering out some details on the MOU. We met with them several times, and it's an ongoing process. Hopefully we can, get something solid put together soon and get that MOU signed.
Okay, so again, so there's no new update. We're just still waiting.
No major changes. No major changes or updates right now.
Mm-hmm. By any chance, has DOC been contacted by the feds into this whole online gambling investigation? No,
not that I'm aware of. No one has reached out to DOC to us about any of our officers being involved in this gambling.
Okay.
Don't know if anybody is, but as of now, no, we have not been contacted.
Okay. Anything new with the master plan update?
So the vendors were just here last week. Pretty busy week. We met with Guam Behavioral. We met with the medical staff. They did it took about 2 days to do assessment of our buildings. So they brought in and went to different units, post 6, 18, all the different housing units. making assessments on their plumbing, electrical, structuring engineer, cracks in the roof and all that. That was all taken care of. They're doing most of the write-ups now. I think they'll be back towards the end of April to work on another phase of the project. It's moving forward. Again, probably by the end of April, we'll start seeing some actual write-ups and some things put together as a result of all the different meetings we've had with them. And again, our target date is still to have something done and presented to the governor by at least August.
Okay.
That's still our target date right now to finish this master plan.
Okay, thank you, Antone.
Thank you, Major.
Okay, anytime.
Guys,
right.
get your apps in. They're hiring over there at DOC, all right? They need a few good men and women.
We're hiring. $13.44 an hour.
That's it, $13.44 an hour, guys. Not too shabby.
Thus, we might be getting a 25% differential pay in the next couple weeks.
Plus,
Extra pay.
you guys hear that? They might be getting 25% differential pay.
Chris, put in your application.
I am. I'm going to put in 2.
Okay.
Thank you. Why are you laughing? You don't think I'd be a good CO?
Sure.
No, you guys, you would be a great.
Decked.
You'd be a great
Run in
CO.
your mouth.
Wow, thanks. Did you hear what she said? I don't know if you picked that up, but Sabrina said if I was a corrections officer, I might get decked for running my mouth. That's very, very good. Very good.
You're welcome.
All right. We're going to take a little break here, guys, so I can rest running my mouth. It's tiring. Oh, man. Great. I really love my KUAM family here.
You're not the only one with jokes.
Yeah, I know. They definitely got my back with that knife.
Hey! Stab you in the front, not in the back.
Yeah, she's a stab in the front kind of person. You definitely see it coming. We're not much for smoke and mirrors. We're pretty straight.